Hey folks, welcome to Drive Across Texas. I'm Pat Waters. I'm here with Chris Caldwell and Justin Leathers, the founding members of 10-7 Outdoors, current law enforcement officers here in North Texas.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I appreciate your service first and foremost, and thank y'all for having the opportunity, giving me the opportunity to talk to you. Chris, tell me, 10-7 Outdoors, man, what's that mean to you? Why'd you start it?
We started it to give back to the families of the fallen, to fallen law enforcement officers. So we started around 2014, and what we do is we provide hunting and fishing trips to the children of the fallen law enforcement officers.
I think it's a great organization. I don't hunt, and so to keep her, interested in hunting and things like that, it's great to have someone that's going to step up and do that, since her dad's not here to do that with her. So I think it's great.
Well, my dad used to hunt, and because he's not here, it gives me an opportunity to do it. To experience the things that I should have with him.
It started with an idea. It really started with a group of guys that love to hunt and fish. We were raised to hunt and fish by our families and foremost our fathers. And as we often do as men sitting around campfire in deer camp, we came up with an idea of, how do we give back? How do we give back and try to be different than all the wonderful foundations that give back to law enforcement? We wanted to do something different. So what we came up with was using what we love, the outdoors, primarily hunting and fishing, but everything outdoors, to give back to these kids and provide these hunting and fishing trips for them. And not as a replacement for their parent that have fallen in the line of duty, but to foster what may not be available anymore since they've lost a parent.
I mean, it's a great hunting organization that like to bring police officers or survivors of police families to their ranches that they find around Texas and bring them on great hunts for great experiences and memories.
It's a great thing for me. My husband was killed almost 6 years ago, and so my boys are growing up without their dad. So for me, 10-7 brings mentorship to my boys that they don't get without their dad. So hunting and fishing and the outdoors. And so it's a great way that they get to do something that they love doing with their dad. They still get to do that. It just brings them closer to doing that, and they make great relationships with the guys, with 10-7 and the ranch owners. But it's not just something that it's a one-time trip and then it's kind of like done and over. These guys make lifelong friendships with them. They follow my boys from the first hunt all the way through. Lifelong friendships. Chris and Justin actually came to Seth's 8th grade graduation a couple years ago, and they follow their sports and just what's going on with them daily. And so it's been great. It's just not, hey, let's go on a hunting trip and see you later. They actually make bonds with the boys, and that's something that has meant the most to me, because they're there for them, they're there for me, and we've actually made great friendships from this that we probably wouldn't have had otherwise without 10-7. And we all love hunting, and it's brought something that we all loved before our passion has grown. So we all hunt and fish, and now we get to do it with other surviving families. It's brought us together, not just in Texas, from across the United States, families come together. So something we all get to do and honor Chad at the same time. He's not forgotten, and so that's great. They get to truly honor the fallen and do it, mentoring to these kids.
10-7's like a second family to me. The guys that originally started it are amazing officers. They are looking out for the children of fallen officers. And even though I'm an adult now, they still took me out on hunting, actually a fishing trip, but they take other kids out, which is so powerful, and these kids are never going to be forgotten, and neither are their family members that were killed in the line of duty. For 22 years and 4 months, I was a police dispatcher, and I've recently moved down to the DWI unit, and I'm now a civilian investigator. I feel like it was God's will. It was like a circle. I met the guys in the traffic unit working DWIs, and now I'm finishing my career with the same crew working DWIs.
I guess just kind of reading in between the lines, you know, once they've lost, like you said, the majority of the time a father, I guess y'all are just basically building relationships with the young kids.
Yes, sir.
And that's phenomenal.
We do.
That's great. Justin, what's your take on 10-7?
Yeah, I mean, Chris couldn't have said it better about what we're all about. But, you know, it's a little bit deeper for me because obviously I'm an outdoorsman at heart, and really the outdoors and being in the outdoors and learning how to enjoy the outdoors really helped shape me into the man that I am today. A little bit about my background. I'm a fourth-generation law enforcement officer, and I come from a long line of law enforcement officers, but also conservationists and true outdoorsmen. And they were big, obviously, mentors for me in my life. Putting myself in these kids' shoes, you know, had I lost my dad early on in my life, I may not be the man that I am today.
Absolutely.
So that's why it means so much to me to be able to give these kids the opportunity to learn how to enjoy the outdoors and enjoy it safely and responsibly, and be an outdoorsman as well as a conservationist. Making sure that they have that opportunity to learn that for people who care a lot about them. It means everything to us. So we really take it personal, and we're blessed to be able to do it.
One reason I really like 10-7 is because my dad, he not only was a police officer, but he also was a game warden. He started out as a game warden, then he became a police officer. So I'm more around officers than I am game wardens. So it's cool that I can be around 10-7 and like just have all these game wardens around me and show me all the stuff that my dad wasn't able to show me, like hunting and all of that stuff, you know? And it's nice because they're real nice and they're like real giving to us, and they just don't make us feel awkward.
10-7 to me is the support, emotional support that I know that's lifted off me, because I would have never ever thought about taking these girls hunting because they're girls, you know. But with the guys being there, it is an emotional support. So it does coach them, and it kind of gives me that step aside and let them be kids. Because me being mom, you know, I try keeping them on a narrow path. And to them, it just lets them be normal. It just lets them be kids, you know. So that emotional support that I talk about is that I know that I can step aside without my kids being there and have that adult conversation with them. And then they'll tell me, you know, without hesitate that I'm doing the wrong thing or the right thing, and then just guide me. It's like a guidance. They're like a rock to me. So.
Well, that's great. I'm telling you, it's a phenomenal organization. Folks, y'all look up 10-7 Outdoors. I'm sure you're online. You got a website?
We do. It's www.107outdoors.com, and Facebook's really the place to hit us up. We document our hunts on there. We document our fundraising efforts on there, and all sorts of things, and honor the fallen.
That's great.
On there as well.
I tell you, it's a phenomenal organization. Folks, I'm telling you, if you've got a little extra jingle in your pocket, this is an organization you definitely need to look into. We have current police officers that are protecting the public right now in North Texas, taking time out of their busy schedule and away from their families to mentor and build relationships with kids of fallen police officers. And you know what? It just shows the love that you guys want to share, that you're passionate about. I can tell it, and very impressed by that.
You're watching Strike TV Video Country. Call your local cable and satellite TV provider and ask about Strike TV.
Deep in the heart of Texas, two sisters want to bring a little sweetness in your life. Stop in to Country Sweets Bakery for delicious pies, cakes, and treats galore. Looking for a special cake? We make what you want, how you want it. Pies and cheesecakes of any kind. You can think of it, we can make it. Fresh-made cookies from scratch will please any crowd. Stop in today and pick your treat. We can't wait to make your life a little sweeter. Check us out at bandurabakery.com.
This is our second annual 10-7 Outdoors Gala, a night to honor the fallen. So tonight, we're going to be joined with 350 of our closest friends, and we're going to have a party. It's going to be, the night's going to be capped off with you, but we're going to start, with some visitation time, and we're going to drink a little bit, and we're going to visit, and we're going to love on each other. And we got some of our 10-7 Outdoors families here, some of our surviving spouses, and some of the kiddos are going to be here. We're all going to surround them in love, and we're going to have a great time. And then we're going to kick it off with some great dinner here at the Blainstone Lodge in Midlothian, Texas. And then we're going to do a little presentation. Justin and I are going to do a little presentation to the group. We're going to look at some videos. We're going to document some of our trips, and we're just going to tell these folks what we're all about. And then we're going to raise some money.
Good.
Because here's the deal. It's not about us, but we do this on a volunteer basis. We don't take a dime from what we raise. We earn a good living. We're proud to do what we do, and we give back by volunteering for this. So every dime raised goes back to these kiddos. That's great. And minimal operation costs, but mostly to these kiddos.
I started the We the People 1776 Flag Company back in December. And it had been a thought ever since the 7/7 ambush of the 5 officers in Dallas. And I just wanted to find a way to give back. And I thought, what no other way than a handmade, American-made, made in Texas, American flag or thin blue line flag or any first responder flag. So I put those together by hand for veterans, for the families that's lost a loved one, and that's just the way I feel like I can give back. And by donating to 10-7 today, I think this is a great organization. I used to hunt. I hadn't in a while, but I love hunting. I remember my dad teaching me how. Man, it's just what these officers do with these kids is just great.
So we're going to raise some money. We're going to have a robust silent auction tonight that people can bid on some items. We're going to have a nice gun raffle where folks can buy some raffle tickets. We're going to auction off some firearms.
Good.
That fits our theme. That's what we love, Pat. Yeah. And then we're going to finish up with a nice live auction. We got items from very generous people all over North Texas, from ranches that have donated hunts, to the Texas Rangers that have donated suites, to the Blainstone Lodge here that have donated parties, and we're going to auction that off, and we're just going to have a great time raising money. And then, like I said, not to be repetitive, the night couldn't be topped off better than having you finish this up with some live music.
I'm always up for a good party.
Yes,
I guarantee you. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, thank you so much. I commend you on your efforts.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for having Pat Waters Band out here. We're very humbled to be here. Folks, y'all remember now, if you got a little extra change and you need a tax write-off, be sure to look up 10-7 Outdoors online. Go to their Facebook page. Help some of these fallen members, some of their families out. Get some of these kids, help them build relationships and know what the outdoors is about. Because I promise you, it'll make them better people. And y'all remember now, that baby's coming from a Texan. Adios.
What does 10-7 mean to you?
They've just shown me a lot of compassion and caring towards people like me and my family, and it just means a lot that they've taken time out of their off time to help us experience some outdoor stuff that we otherwise wouldn't got to experience.
That's great. How many hunts or fishing trips have you been on personally?
I've been on 2 hunting trips and 1 fishing.
You know, the good thing, we've interviewed several people today, and the one thing that seems to be a common denominator about 10-7, it's just not the hunting and the fishing trips. It's like a brotherhood. They take you in and they get to know you as a person. They follow you, they stay in touch, they kind of give you some mentorship. Absolutely. Are you experiencing the same thing?
Yes. Chris himself, he texts me about once a month, just checking on me, seeing how the family is. And it's just really nice to have people like that in your life.
Absolutely.
It means a lot.
Absolutely. Well, I am sorry for your loss, but I'm glad that you've reached out here to 10-7. They've reached out to you and kind of mentor you and do some things that maybe you and your father would have been able to do. So, continue that. Godspeed for sure. Now, Karen, what does 10-7 mean to you?
Well, we heard about 10-7 in 2015, and Jasper was 3 when his dad passed away, and I should say killed in the line of duty. And so they never really got to experience outdoor stuff because I was not an outdoor person. Their dad was. And so when we found out about 10-7, we contacted them and they just immediately set us up to come down and hunt. And since then, it's like you said, they check on him, and since then he came down. I came with him the first time and hunted. The second time, him and his brother came down and hunted, and they also mentored a smaller child and got to take them hunting. So it's not only are they mentoring them, but they're teaching them to be mentors also, that they may not have learned because they didn't have a father figure while they were growing up. So it's been a really awesome experience, and we really appreciate everything that they've done and how they reach out to survivors and just kind of help the kids grow into young men and women. So we appreciate it.
That's great. It's a great organization. I've been totally floored today with the response from the different young men, young women that's been, allowed to go out on these hunting and fishing trips. But like I said, the one thing that's a common denominator that I found is that it's about relationships, lifelong friends, lifelong relationships.
Yeah.
Jasper, thank you so much.
Thank you too.
You bet. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Miss Karen,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for taking y'all's time to sit down and talk with us on Drive Across Texas.
Thank you.
This is Drive Across Texas. Y'all remember now, the baby's coming from a Texan. Adios.
An Old Memory, the critically acclaimed new tribute album from Dylan Scott, features 7 traditional country songs honoring one of his musical heroes, Keith Whitley.
When you say nothing at all.
The project includes Don't Close Your Eyes,
Don't close your eyes, let it be me.
Between an Old Memory and Me,
An old memory
and more. An Old Memory, the new album from Dylan Scott, available now on Amazon Music.
When you say nothing at all.
Welcome to Tamales Mexican Restaurant. Our chefs are here every day at 8 a.m. preparing the freshest chips, guacamole, and pico de gallo from scratch. We use real skirt steak, the real Mexican way, made from food with integrity. Come see us at Tamales Mexican Restaurant.
Now I feel so thankfully that you have been so good to me.
Hey folks, welcome back to Drive Across Texas. I'm your host, Pat Waters. We're down in Bandera, Texas, cowboy capital of the world. I got my geocache buddy, Miss Wendy Johnson here. Wendy, we found one here in Bandera.
We did. This one's called Limericks and Sliders. Looks like it's kind of like a little puzzle cache. We haven't done one of those before, so we're gonna check it out. We're close to it, but it looks like we gotta walk up this way a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, follow us. Now this one has a limerick and another, it has 2 locks on it.
It does.
And while we were off air, we went ahead and opened this lock. It's really simple. Go to the website and it tells you it's a directional lock. You'll be able to figure that out. That's really easy. Now this one right here is a limerick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and tell the people what the...
Okay, so you gotta figure out what goes in the blank, basically. A blank in the midst of a stream faced a puzzle as broad as its beam. To the left or the right was its immediate flight. Reaching shore was quite hard, it would seem. So we figured out what that is. You gotta figure it out yourself, and then you're able to open the lock and see all the treasures inside.
Now they have like 3 boxes of different things here. Little bouncy balls, log book. Got some glow sticks. So anyway, man, next time y'all are in Bandera, try to find this. What was the name of this geocache?
Limericks and Sliders.
And it was a lot of fun. It was something different we haven't done, before. So y'all check it out. If you get down here, y'all try to find it also. Remember now, that's coming from a Texan. Adios.
Quality service, catering, and takeout, homemade food. Dutchtown Deli in Cameron, Texas is the family restaurant everyone will enjoy. Customers expect nothing but the best, and we aim to deliver, serving down-home comfort food, delectable pies, and coffee as fresh as can be. Stop in at 412 West Battle Street, Cameron, Texas. Why are Wiseman House handmade chocolates so good? The answer is simple. Real chocolate from origins such as Belgium and Venezuela. Fresh ingredients like whipping cream and chopped fruits. Natural flavors like crushed coffee beans, all combined with unique liqueurs and spices. We leave out added sugars, gluten, sodium nitrates, and trans fat. The result is a full, rich flavor profile, smoother texture, and an indescribable taste. Welcome to Wiseman House Handmade Chocolates.
Hey y'all, it's Wendy Johnson with Drive Across Texas, and I'm here with one of my favorite people, Miss Nancy Russell, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what she's been up to these days.
Wendy, it's good seeing you. I'm a real estate agent now with Keller Williams. If you're looking to buy a home, I can help you find a home. If you're trying to sell your home, I'll be more than happy to list it and take care of all your real estate needs.
So there you have it, folks. If you're looking for a good real estate agent, check out Miss Nancy. Hey y'all, it's Wendy Johnson with Drive Across Texas, and we are here in Sulphur Springs, Hopkins County, Texas, and I came across this pretty lady whose name happens to be Dinky, and she is, are you the owner?
I'm the general manager.
She's the general manager here at the Corner Grub House. Did I say that right?
That's right.
Corner Grub House here right on the corner on the square in Hopkins County, or Sulphur Springs, sorry. And she's gonna tell us a little bit about what they do here.
Okay, well, we've been in business 3 years now. We have steaks, chicken fried steaks. We've been voted best chicken fried steaks in Hopkins County for 2 years in a row.
Nice.
They'll come back out again in March, so we should get that one again, I hope again. We have a fresh salad bar. We have fish, all you can eat fish every day of the week. We're open 7 days a week.
So y'all get a lot of locals?
We do get a lot of locals, but I get a lot of travelers. Our outside seating sits 100 people. I can sit 94 inside.
Oh,
and
wow.
when we are doing things on the square and during the spring and stuff, outside stays full.
So you mentioned the square, and I know there's a lot of activities and stuff going on there. Who kind of puts that together?
Well, Mark Maxwell is our city manager here, and this was his vision for our downtown square and the activities going on. So Mark's really very valuable to Sulphur Springs.
Very cool. He puts a lot of work into it,
He
obviously.
does. Sarah and his whole crew, Joey Baker, all of them, they do wonderful jobs down
The square here is pretty amazing.
It's gorgeous.
Lots of, and I was talking to the lady at the chamber, she told me about some of the restaurants and things on here. She mentioned you guys, and I was thinking, I was like, that's great seating out there, because then people, when they're watching movies or there's music or different things going on, they have seating here. You have like a great menu.
Thank you.
I like that. I like the variety and the all-you-can-eat salad bar. So that's really good.
Well, we also cater too, and I have a banquet room upstairs from here that you can oversee the square from there. So on the event nights and for our 4th of July celebration, that room's booked a year in advance.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. So how long have you been here? The whole 3 years?
The whole time.
So it's kind of like your baby.
This is my baby.
I love it.
Mike and Amanda Story own it, and I've worked with them for many years, so it's really great.
Very awesome. Well, it looks like you guys got a good thing going on.
Well,
There's
thank
a lot of
you.
people in here eating, having some lunch or early
It
dinner.
is.
Very cool. There you have it, folks. So worth your drive across Texas. Bye, y'all.
You know, there's a special feeling you get when you're in a place of your childhood. The food tastes better, the air smells sweeter, the faces are friendlier, and your troubles just seem to disappear. When I think about my little hometown of Bridgeport, Texas, this is a feeling I get, and it just can't be matched. There's truly no place like home, and that's coming from a Texan. Hey folks, welcome back to my hometown edition of Drive Across Texas. I'm Pat Waters. We're at Bridgeport Guns and Ammo with Brian and Anita Bernardo. Brian, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Talk to you, Pat.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Thank you for opening the doors to your fabulous business here. So, Bridgeport Guns and Ammo, man, how long y'all been in business and what made you get in this business?
Been here since 2001. Always been kind of a gun nut. Heavy on the nut part. I just like hunting. Mostly, it's about hunting. Yeah. I like hunting. Like the outdoors.
Good.
That's all cool.
Yeah, that is cool. So how long have you been in Bridgeport?
About 20 years.
20 years. Now, you come from the Metroplex, and you said you used to come out here as a kid in Wise County, and tell the viewers about that.
Yeah, the Metro mess,
Yeah,
as it is now. But I grew up in Irving, and we moved out here about 20 years ago just to get away from that down there. But what brought me here was I had a relative or relatives up outside of Alvord, and we used to go visit them when I was a kid, and I just loved it out here. What's not to love about Wise County?
That's awesome.
So it's cool up here.
You sound like me.
The people are cool. Yeah, the people are cool. I mean, it's especially much when you're coming from someplace else to this. You really see the stark difference between the type of people in the big city versus the type of people out here.
And you'll notice you're an avid John Wayne fan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. John Wayne, Westerns, all the good old movies. There's not really that many good new movies. Yeah. The few newer ones, okay, but for the most part, the older movies are better.
Do you sit around on the weekends when you get a chance to watch them old Westerns?
If there's a John Wayne marathon,
you're there.
Yeah.
Parked in there for the duration.
And you know what's funny is, I still hadn't seen them all.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I find something comes up on Netflix or one of these other type programs like that of a John Wayne movie I never heard of.
That's crazy.
And it's a good one.
Yeah.
You watch it and it's actually a good one. Wow, man, I'm 51 years old and I'm just now seeing this movie that came out like 75 years ago or something.
Isn't that crazy?
So, yeah, it's awesome.
It's just, you know,
he is still given to us.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely he is. He's a legend, and I guess the difference between a lot of people and that is John Wayne left a legacy.
Yeah, he's been gone 40 years and he's still new.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome. That is.
I knew we'd get along.
Yes, sir.
I guarantee you. Folks, we're at Bridgeport Guns and Ammo. Next time you're coming out to Bridgeport, be sure to stop in and visit Brian and Anita Bernardo. Great folks here. And man, I appreciate the opportunity to come talk to you.
Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it.
You bet, not a problem. Y'all remember now, that baby's coming from a couple Texas.
Absolutely.
Adios.